we live? We should be live. I don't know if we are. Let me just check really quick. The House is currently voting right now on a motion for the Kids Act not to be passed. Let me try and find the stream for you. There is about 2 minutes remaining. I am still trying to find it. Let me check my YouTube history. We have about 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Oh, I forgot I'm running a new browser. Thanks a lot, macOS. Let me screen record, for gosh sake. Share, allow. Live. Right. We have about 50 seconds left. I will put the chat on the side. Right here. There's 40 seconds remaining. If you called your lawmakers, that is amazing. Make sure if you need to call your senators. If this passes, please do. Why do I have 2 bots in my chat? Alright, time is out. But votes are still being counted, it looks like. Or not. It is still going at this current moment. The people in the house chat are going crazy right now. Hold on. Let me pull up their chat really quick. This is gonna compromise everyone's privacy. Just remember, if this goes through, call your senators or email them. I'm going to lower third here. They are still currently voting. I am for protecting kids personally, but not in this privacy evasive way. Also, my streaming software has a Polymarket ticker. Okay. I honestly just don't know what to say right now. Stop voting to help me other. This is not the Eurovision Song Contest. And I don't think they're reading the chat, guys. I'm also gonna go live really quick on the Music Note platform. Alright, we should now be live on the Music Note platform. And let me check it really quick. Doesn't look like I'm live. Maybe I should check the website. "404, that is weird. I'm just setting the check on my laptop. Is it because of my ad blocker? Nope, it's not. Still sending data. Okay. Unable to connect. Perfect. Let's just go live on the purple platform then. Now I should be live on the purple platform. Yes, I am. I just got the message. I don't think the house chat knows about the government and how it works. Sorry if the stream is laggy, by the way. Sorry if the stream is laggy, by the way. I am actually on vacation. Vote yes if you are on that. Damn. Okay. Why didn't I add so many bots to my stream? It really should only be one. I don't think Deep Humor is live yet. Let me check it really quick. Deep Humor is not live yet. It's saying he will be live at 7 p.m. I'll put a stream link in so you can watch his stream. And I just want to make sure it was sent as well. Also, I am sorry if the audio quality is bad as well. Oh, I can't pin it on. I'll just follow that link. I agree. The people in the chat should chill the hell out. Rumbling in the House chat. Yes, you should contact your senators. I have a little lower third at the bottom left of your screen. You can call them at either 5calls.org or badinternetbills.com. Bad Internet Bills doesn't work for me, so I'd recommend using 5calls.org. Or you can email them at act.eff.org. All of them will be including a script that you can use. I personally have done both calling and emailing. But use that link. Or have fun typing it, I guess. You know what? Let's type in the chat. Bro, what code is this? Is it showing the codes on stream? The chat is confusing, honestly. There's info on how to call in my stream. I will be right back. Back. Why do I keep doing that? Oh, Mangway282, welcome. Yeah, I'm reacting to that. Nightbot, how about you shut up? Sorry about Nightbot. Agreed.
On this vote,
Let me.
the yeas are 267, the nays are 117. Two-thirds being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, the bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to consider is laid on the table. Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, the unfinished business is the vote on the motion of the gentleman from Nebraska, Mr. Flood, to suspend the rules and pass H.R. 7128 as amended, on which the yeas and nays are ordered. The clerk will report the title.
H.R. 7128, a bill to extend the terrorism risk insurance program and for other purposes.
I'd recommend calling or emailing your senators.
Will the House suspend the rules and pass the bill as amended? Members will record their votes by electronic device. This is a 5-minute vote.
No. I want to edit the chat really quick. Let's use this. Sure. It's mainly Republicans voting. But I feel like this really does invade everyone's privacy. And it harms certain groups of people as well. I don't really want to talk right now. I really just don't. I. What are they voting on now? 7128. Let's check what that is. Yeah, that's the TRIA Program Reauthorization Act of 2026. Five calls and bad internet bills should be updated now. Let me check my phone. I'll check bad internet bills first. Nope, it's just saying House plus Senate. Let me update the lower third because you can also email them through that website too. These are just hubs. Maybe I should end the stream, but I think I'm gonna take a little break here. I'll leave the house live stream on. I will be right back. Really quick. I will probably do another live stream later on today. Wait, let me just make sure they didn't not do 7757, which is the Kids Act. Yeah, that was 7757. Has passed through the House. Deep Humor is still not live. Sorry for no thumbnail.
vote, the yeas are 373 and the nays are 15. Two-thirds being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
The Kids Act has COSA in it.
House will be in order. For what purpose the gentleman from Colorado seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that I may hereafter be considered as the first sponsor of H.R. 3300, a measure originally introduced by Representative LaMalfa of California for purposes of adding co-sponsors and requesting reprintings pursuant to Clause 7 of Rule 12.
Without objection. Okay. The House will be in order. New Jersey. For what purpose does the gentleman from New Jersey seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I request unanimous consent to address the House out of order.
Gentlemen, suspend. The House will be in order. Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, we are here today to honor Congressman Frank J. Guarini, who passed away on Saturday, June 20th, at the age of 101. As a distinguished World War II veteran, Congressman Guarini's service to our country began at a young age. He continued that service in the New Jersey State Senate, passing groundbreaking environmental protection laws and bringing the giants to New Jersey. In Congress, he represented his beloved Jersey City, where he was born and raised. And in over 14 years in the House, he set a standard that we all aspire to today. Congressman Guarini built a remarkable record on trade, international affairs, education, housing, and environmental protection, all while never losing sight of his community and the people he fought for every day of his distinguished career. After retiring from the House and serving as U.S. Representative to the General Assembly of the United Nations, Congressman Guarini dedicated himself to the revitalization of Jersey City and to philanthropy, both missions in which he achieved great success and left a lasting impact. He leaves behind a legacy that will not be forgotten by the countless people whose lives he touched in his 8 decades of service. Now it is my honor to invite the House for a moment of silence for our colleague and friend, Congressman Frank Guarini.
I invite all members in the chamber to stand and observe a moment of silence.
Mr. Speaker, I yield back my time.
Gentleman yields back. For what purpose does the gentleman from Florida seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that it be in order at any time to consider H-Con Res 108 in the House if called up by the Chair of the Committee on Foreign Affairs or his designee, that the concurrent resolution be considered as read, and that the previous question be considered as ordered on the concurrent resolution to adoption without intervening motion except for 1 hour of debate, divided equally and controlled by Representative Mast of Florida and Representative Meeks of New York or their respective designees.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to order of the House of June 29, 2026, I call up House Concurrent Resolution 108 and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the title of the concurrent resolution.
House Concurrent Resolution 108, concurrent resolution directing the President, pursuant to Section 5C of the World Powers Resolution, to remove United States Armed Forces from hostilities in Lebanon.
Pursuant to the order of the House of today, the concurrent resolution is considered as read. The concurrent resolution shall be debatable for 1 hour, equally divided and controlled by Representative Mast of Florida and Representative Meeks of New York or their respective designees. The gentleman from Florida, Mr. Mast, and the gentleman from New York, Mr. Meeks, each control 30 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Florida.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks and include any extraneous material on the resolution under consideration.
Without objection.
And Mr. Speaker, while I appreciate all the people that are here to argue against this piece of legislation, the House we're almost in order. We're not quite in order yet.
Yeah. The gentleman's correct. The House is not in order. Please take your conversations off the floor. The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'll reserve.
The gentleman from Florida reserves. The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in support of H-Con Res 108. While I voted against a previous iteration of this resolution, I believe this updated version has corrected the flaws of H-Con Res 84. The updated text is an important legislative assertion of Congress's constitutional authority over matters of war and peace that will not infringe upon America's national security interests in Lebanon while ensuring we stay out of another forever war that is not in our national interests. We consider this resolution in the wake of the recently announced trilateral framework between Lebanon, Israel, and the United States. And I welcome this agreement, which represents a critical step away from continued escalation and violence. However, what comes next is most critical. Ensuring a ceasefire is indeed observed by all, fully disarming Hezbollah, and preserving Lebanese sovereignty and territorial integrity. Since the start of Trump's illegal war of choice with Iran, civilians in both Lebanon and Israel have suffered the consequences of continued strikes by both Hezbollah and the Israeli military. Now, I strongly condemn violence against civilians in all forms and support efforts by both the Israeli and Lebanese governments to ensure the safety and security of their people. Every government has a right and a responsibility to protect its citizens, and Israel has a right to defend itself. However, this does not justify disproportionate airstrikes, which have killed too many civilians, including medical workers and journalists, as well as destroyed civilian infrastructure throughout Lebanon. And as I continue to condemn Hezbollah's drone and rocket fire into Israel, I note with deep concern that the Israeli defense minister's public pronouncement to destroy all homes in the southern Lebanon border villages, and I quote, follow the Rafah and Hanun model in Gaza, where the Israeli military systematically destroyed thousands of Palestinian homes and civilian infrastructure. These are not words of self-defense. They are the language of collective punishment, and that must be condemned. As we look to efforts to de-escalate and move towards peace and stability for both Israelis and the Lebanese, I will state for the record that, to my knowledge, United States forces are not currently engaged in any active hostilities in Lebanon with the Israeli military. Nonetheless, this resolution ensures that does not change without congressional authorization. We must not enter another illegal, reckless, and counterproductive war in the Middle East. And while this resolution prohibits U.S. forces from engaging in hostilities in Lebanon, it makes clear it shall not prevent or in any way limit the important mission that the United States Armed Forces are engaged in with Lebanon. That is, the long-standing training and support of the Lebanese Armed Forces, also known as the LAF, which are critical to Lebanon's stability and that of the region. In my many meetings with both Lebanese and Israeli leaders over the years, I deeply understand and appreciate the importance of supporting building up Lebanon's armed forces, a goal which successive administrations, both Republican and Democrat, have furthered. Protecting that mission, which has enjoyed bipartisan support across the administration, is precisely why this resolution is carefully drafted to preserve it. This resolution stands on the side of ending forever wars and ensuring U.S. forces are not drawn into hostilities in Lebanon. Any colleague who believes Congress must reassert its constitutional authority over matters of war and peace should stand with us today. So, Mr. Speaker, I support this resolution, and I urge all of my colleagues to do the same. and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from New York reserved. The gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I oppose this resolution. However, I will say that I am very glad to hear the debate offered by my colleague, Ranking Member Meeks. He spoke about Hezbollah. We went through an entire debate several weeks ago where the opposition refused to mention that Hezbollah even existed. So I'm glad to hear Ranking Member Meeks bring that up. Hezbollah specifically targeting civilians with their every action. That's their MO. Israel specifically targeting terrorists. That's what's going on here. Now, as it relates to this piece of legislation, we've done this exercise before, and I'm glad to hear the ranking member acknowledge that the United States is not engaged in any hostilities with Lebanon, or rather in Lebanon against Hezbollah. The U.S. is not at war in Lebanon. The U.S. is not engaged in hostilities in Lebanon. There are not U.S. combat forces conducting operations or engaged in hostilities in Lebanon. They are training the Lebanese armed forces. Why are they training them? Because there's probably at least 40,000, probably more terrorists, Hezbollah terrorists spread across the south of Lebanon that are actively engaged in targeting Israel and have been doing so for many years. And Israel is over there doing a good job working to wipe those terrorists out right now. But this resolution is impossible to implement. Even if it passed, could the author explain to me which forces would be removed? If we don't have combat forces there, what forces are you removing? That's a very common sense question. I don't think we'll get an answer to it, Mr. Speaker. I will say something else that I'm glad about in today's debate. The really stupid mistake that was made in the last attempt to do this was removed, where the author was seeking to remove the Marines from our embassies, from the gates, from the front doors. I'm glad that that was removed from this one, thankfully. But this resolution still is not any less ridiculous than the last one. Again, the U.S. is not at war in Lebanon. But since we're here, let's address something today that this resolution fails to mention, and what the author of this bill, I think, wants to avoid. Hezbollah is one of the world's most capable and dangerous terrorist organizations. They have killed hundreds of Americans, which makes it interesting to me that my colleague who opened the remarks saying that it's not in our national interest to address them. They've killed hundreds of Americans. That's a pretty damn big national interest to me as a U.S. service member, as an American, as somebody with teenagers that will hopefully put on a uniform in defense of this country at some point. I would say it's in our national interest. But again, they're one of the world's most capable, dangerous terrorist organizations, killed hundreds of Americans, attacked U.S. diplomatic and military personnel over and over and over again. And I'm not sure why my colleagues don't want to talk about that, and especially, again, the author of this bill last time failed to even mention the word Hezbollah, or refused to mention the word Hezbollah, because this resolution is a win for terrorists. That's what it is. If you're trying to decide who should have control of Lebanon, who should it belong to? Should Lebanon belong to the Lebanese, or should Lebanon belong to the terrorists? This bill, this resolution, is a win for Lebanon to belong to terrorists. So let's also be clear that Hezbollah is the one holdout that is standing in the way of peace between Israel and Lebanon. The Lebanese government wants the fighting to stop. Israel wants the fighting to stop. Who is it that wants the fighting to continue? That would be the one entity that is supported by this resolution, and that's Hezbollah. This is not about U.S. forces. As was acknowledged already by my colleague, the ranking member, there are no U.S. forces engaged in hostilities. And we all know that. Again, there are no forces fighting in Lebanon. This resolution, it's to undermine our national security. It's to embolden Hezbollah, which it absolutely does. Just its presence on the floor here, just its mere being brought up here, emboldens Hezbollah and other terrorist and all for the sake of political messaging. I urge my colleagues, vote against this bill. It's just as ridiculous. Well, it's not quite as ridiculous this time as it was the last time, given that it did finally remove that we wouldn't have to take our Marines out of the embassies, so it's not quite as ridiculous, but still significantly ridiculous. And I urge a no vote, and I reserve.
Gentleman reserves. The gentleman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 3 minutes to the gentlewoman from New Jersey, Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman.
Gentlelady from New Jersey is recognized for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the ranking member for yielding me some time here. Our country was rightly shocked and horrified when over 150 schoolgirls were killed in the opening hours of our strikes on Iran. It will be remembered as one of our darkest hours. As I stand here, over 253 children have been killed in Lebanon. Are those lives no less a tragedy? Are we so callous as to believe that when we provide intelligence, provide coordination, and green strikes, that our responsibility for the result of that work ends there? We are not bystanders to the ongoing horror that is the war on Lebanon. We've seen this before. High-ranking members of the Israeli government are threatening mass extermination of Lebanese. They are broadcasting their intentions just as they did in Gaza. This Congress did nothing to stop the horror that befell Gaza. This Congress took bipartisan measures to let an ally commit genocide on the Palestinian people in Gaza with our bombs, with our intelligence, and with our tax dollars. We cannot feign ignorance here again. This resolution offers a very clear moral choice. It offers those who fail to act in Gaza a chance to do something right now. I ask that we would all support this resolution, and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Gentleman from New York reserves. Gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Yield myself as much time as I might use, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman is recognized.
As we look at the attacks that go on, where is it that all of these Hezbollah terrorists, where is it that they hide? Where is it that they choose to encamp themselves? In the middle of civilians on purpose. There's no desire at any point for any one civilian casualty in any circumstance. I've seen it play out on the battlefields that I was a part of, and it's regrettable is not a strong enough word, well beyond regrettable. Any single time that anybody trying to live their life becomes a victim of a catastrophic attack because of what they're adjacent to, the terrorists that are surrounding their community. But that's exactly what Hezbollah does by design. Embed themselves into schools, embed themselves into places of worship, embed themselves into the bedrock of any community that they can go forcefully take over. That is the way that they operate with purpose and operate specifically to create civilian casualties everywhere. Civilian casualties around them, civilian casualties where they launch their attacks. That is their MO. Mr. Speaker, as I look at Hezbollah, I look at, again, what is our interest? We have labeled them, we have designated them a foreign terrorist organization. That has gone on since, I want to say, the mid-90s, that they were designated a foreign terrorist organization. More than 60 countries across the globe, including the EU, the Arab League, the GCC, the Gulf Cooperation Council, have all designated Hezbollah part of a terrorist organization. They are a scourge. They are a direct arm of Iran, directly funded by Iran, receiving targets from Iran, being benefited, receiving benefits from Iran when they hit targets that Iran tells them to hit. And so everything that can be done in the work that Israel is doing to destroy this scourge is something that we should be supporting through the training of the LAF, supporting through our intelligence resources that are being offered. This bill, this is meant to drive a stake between allies. It's meant to drive a wedge between allies. It's not meant to drive a stake into the heart of our enemies, into the heart of terrorists. And that's the unfortunate part about it. It's meant to hurt our allies. It's not meant to hurt terrorists. That's beyond regrettable on this floor. I reserve.
Gentleman reserves. Gentleman from New York is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 7 minutes to the gentlewoman from Michigan and the sponsor of this resolution, Representative Rashida Tlaib.
Gentlelady from Michigan is recognized for 7 minutes.
This week's vote is about immediately ending all U.S. participation in the Israeli government's violent assault against the people of Lebanon. Over 4,200 people have been massacred since the start of the Israeli apartheid regime's brutal campaign of ethnic cleansing and territory expansion in Lebanon. And nearly 1,000 additional people have already been killed since Congress refused to pass the Lebanon War Powers Resolution earlier this month. That's just 25 days and 1,000 additional people. Over 4,200 beautiful souls have been taken from our earth, from their loved ones, by U.S.-funded bombs with the operational and targeting support from the U.S. military. Indiscriminate bombings continue to this day. Children, medics, journalists, parents, students. Everyone wants to label them as Hezbollah. They were civilians. They were intentionally targeted. Mr. Speaker, I would like to submit for the record a June 17th report from UNICEF titled Lebanon, 12 children killed, maimed daily, despite Hezbollah-Israel truce.
Without objection.
That's an innocent child being killed or maimed every 2 hours in this U.S. assisted invasion. The apartheid government of Israel is intentionally killing civilians again in Lebanon, in Palestine, in Iran. It's the same genocidal playbook. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to also submit for the record the June 18th report from the United Nations Independent International Commission of Inquiry titled "The Essence of Child has been destroyed. Israel's deliberate targeting of Palestinian children in the occupied Palestine territory since October 7th.
Without objection.
Everyone should read this horrifying report. It finds that the Israeli military deliberately targets and kills children as part of their ongoing genocide in Gaza. When Israeli leaders talk about applying the Gaza model in Lebanon, this is what they mean, and they never mention Hezbollah. They say, we have already seen the Israeli military kill 251 Lebanese children during the U.S. assisted invasion. And Mr. Speaker, in their own words, I just want to be clear, this is a June 17th report from Amnesty International Lebanon. Israel radically expands their unlawful mass evacuation orders and commits war crime of unlawful transfer. Can I submit this for the record, Mr. Speaker?
Without objection.
More than 1.3 million people have already been forced to leave their homes or being killed, with the Israeli military telling them they will not be allowed to return. 81 Lebanese neighborhoods have been violently depopulated and demolished, erased from the map entirely. I want to make this very, very clear. The United States is not a bystander to these war crimes. It's an active participant. The United States is currently engaged in illegal and unauthorized hostilities supporting the Israeli invasion of Lebanon in violation of the War Powers Act. The Trump administration is providing intelligence, coordinating strikes, demonstrating overt command over the Israeli military decisions, including greenlighting specific Israeli attacks and operations. The Trump administration is also providing spare parts and maintenance to keep Israeli jets in the air. Without that support, those jets cannot drop bombs to kill
I am back, and I do have some breaking news. The Kids Act has passed through the House.
Participation in the destruction of Lebanon.
I repeat, the Kids Act has been passed through the House. It is going to the Senate, but not today. Make sure to call your senators at either 5calls.org or badinternetbills.com, or you can email them at act.eff.org or badinternetbills.com. It is not over yet. Just remember that. I would like to thank all of you guys for watching. I will redirect all of y'all to Deep Humor's upcoming stream. I may stream again today. I do not know. But thank you everyone that came from the House live stream. Thank you everyone that came to my Purple platform stream. Everyone that came to the Red platform stream in general. I would just like to thank all of you guys for watching. I will set up the redirect to Deep Humor Stream now. If you're on the purple platform, you will not get redirected, but a link is in the chat. Have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye. Does he have to be live? Oh, I cannot. Well then. I'll just redirect you Reddit platform viewers to Chill EDM because I want you guys still to watch some Peak. Have a great rest of your day, and